Folks, you're not going to believe this. I got Mr. Trumptastic. Thanks to Ben. Ben introduced us. Ben is one of our administrators from the UK. And I've been following Mr. Trumptastic for a long time. And I only thought it was appropriate for me to wear my shirt. Brother, great. Welcome to the call. I'm going to make a few announcements real quick and then we'll get going. If you're just joining us, if you're just getting to know what's going on here, we are part of a 2.0 XRP army. Quantum financial system is connected to Gesara and Nesara. Gesara and Nesara will be the bus that drives the entire thing. Okay, if you understand what's going on right now with the war in Ukraine, which is kabuki theater, I'll get into that maybe a little bit with this, and I'll get your input as well. But the reality is that there is no way we're going back to the old system. Okay, there's two systems competing for each other. One's a quantum financial system. The other one is the global reset. Global reset meaning communism. Quantum financial system meaning total freedom. Gesara and Nesara. Okay. Well, brother, listen. I'm going to tell you what. Just click down below. The links are all down below. Let's get with it. Okay, brother, listen. I want to know first and foremost, how the hell did you come up with the name Trumptastic?
Okay, so that's yeah, story in itself. But this is actually the basis of it is that I've been in the financial services area in corporate finance for like 20-something years. I've been an investor, obviously, in the stock market, and that's where I reached financial freedom. A lot of it I set myself up for, but also when Trump or 45 got into office, he set me up, right? So once he got up, stock market went to the moon, and then I became his biggest fan. And so every time he come out, I would always say, I used to say greed is absolutely Trumptastic, having it all, but then I cut it down to simply Trumptastic, made it really quick and easy. And then once I got into this truther movement, I had an interview with Prime Minister, and he was the first patriot that saw my work. And then he's like, he's like, Trumptastic. He said, we should call you Mr. Trumptastic. I mean, you should patent that name and this and that. So that's how it stuck. And I just carried that with me ever since then. And so, yeah, that's how it got started. So
that's funny, because that was my next question. Did you copyright the name? Did you patent it? No,
I didn't do it. So, it was something more humorous, but it really kind of stuck now. So obviously people are wanting, t-shirts and whatnot. So at some point in time, when I do have some time to remove away from the matrix, once we get to the other side, then I can go ahead and start doing that and light work. And that's what we're all waiting for, right? So
yeah. Did you by any chance, Trumptastic, did you watch the interview with Nino and 107 recently? Did you get the chance to see the one where he's facing the window in Vegas? There was a live interview. He's facing the other way.
Yeah, I saw that when I was actually in a couple of days ago, and I just there's so many people I follow. So I was recently, I've been listening to Sarge a lot, so he had some really good intel. So I did see it. I haven't got a chance to listen to it, but I definitely will do that. I've been hearing a lot of good reveals were in there, and in terms of intel and information. But also I saw your interview with Carrie Cassidy. It was pretty amazing. And then also I heard her with Patriot Day recently too. So obviously I follow a lot of people and listen to a lot of things, and my bandwidth is extremely thin, so I have to try to mix it up. And there's certain people that David Rodriguez actually is the guy that woke me up. His viral videos, that's how I awoken. So I do appreciate him a lot.
Yeah, I've been at this for about 30 years, dude. Counting George Carlin, 30 years. Okay. Wow. If you don't want to count George Carlin, about 25, 26 with Mr. Alex Jones. Okay. So I'm going to give you a little piece of the actual interview, which is the most incredible part with 107 and Nino. Okay. One of the questions was a Q&A. One of the questions that came in is Gesara, Nesara going to happen? It's not the fact that he said yes, but it's how he said yes, like with authority, there's no question in anyone's mind that it's coming. And listen, you got to be blind, deaf, and stupid at this point, coming into a movie theater and not wanting to pay attention. You know what I mean? So what did you do before you decided to become a podcaster? Were you basically in finance? Were you in a stock market? You look like a stockbroker. I got to be honest with you. You look like you actually were cast for Wolf of Wall Street. You know, that guy that...
Well, yeah, I mean, I really like, for my generation is more Gordon Gekko, right? Wall Street 1 and 2 those are both my favorite movies. And so yeah, so prior to my awakening, I was in the banking sector, okay, of all things, and right in the heart of the cabal, as in the corporate banking side, which is what I do, is primarily provide financing solutions to companies 10 to $1 billion in revenues. So it's pretty big spectrum, lines of credits, acquisition facilities, just everything, M&A. So I was all involved with that, but I was actually, thinking I was, helping business owners, right? And they don't really know any better, to find out later on that the Federal Reserve obviously is a private bank. It's not part of the government. And started digging in once I saw that, this video, and the pandemic came. It gave me the time, because you go home. So it's like, get done with your work and stuff, and it just didn't feel right. So I started digging. That's when I found everything. So that's how I woke in. That's how I got plugged into it. And obviously that's, my background before that, but my ties to it is because of 45, and, what he's done. Like, he didn't have to do any of this. He did it because, who he is, right, inside. And for me too, is, I could have just took the information and just idly went by. I just couldn't stand by the sidelines. I have to have my voice heard. I started doing it because people were like, hey, I like what you're doing. And I'm just like, I got to get the truth out. So I got tied with the child trafficking part of it, because I have 2 kids, and that resonated with me big time. And it's like, what, they don't have a voice. So I'm kind of like I'm the, channel to that. And I just got plugged in with, all aspects of this patriot movement. So that's my mission, is I've always said, to get us to the finish line. And then after that, I can, take some time off, and then obviously we can do some, magical things after we get to the finish line.
And what do you think about the XRP army? I'm sure you have your favorite flavors like Crypto Eddie and Digital Asset Investor, Digital Perspective, some of the big heavyweights. What do you think of the fact they're constantly preaching the global reset, but not once, with the exception of 2 videos that Brad Kimes did make, to his respect, that he did make 2 videos over the last 3.5, 4 years that he's been doing podcasts around Nesara, Gesara, and then for whatever reason he's singing the same song that everybody else is singing, which is basically the global reset, but not the quantum financial system. So what are the distinctive characteristics that you feel are different between one and the other? Give me your perspective on it.
Sure. I mean, obviously, in terms of XRP, I was always a big, huge fan of XRP, because before I woke, I was a banker, and I knew that the XRP was going to take over the SWIFT system. I just knew that. I had no idea what's woke, so I started investing in that back in 2016. It's actually my second biggest holding. Ether is my first, just because Ether exploded, right? But I've been accumulating XRP. Once that explodes, obviously that would become number 1. But the pecking order obviously has always been Bitcoin, Ether, and XRP. It's always been the top 3 coins that I've resonated with. And so, and I continue on that basis from that side. So crypto, in terms of cryptos, my experience in it is more kind of a more from a basic. I don't really know the intricacies. I just know that the top coins. I know in blockchain, it's a technology. I studied it. I went through a lot of different seminars to understand that back in 2016. And it's obviously a big middle finger to the central banking system, which is of course Illuminati Dickwad, as I always say. That's basically I'm a huge proponent of it, because it's a power to the people, right? It's outside of the controlled system of the matrix. And so that's obviously where now my focus is. So what's the other in terms of the differences, right? So obviously, a lot of people are focused on the Great Reset, which is basically the NWO version of the Great. There's 2 versions of it, right? So Great Reset is the one where they want to strip all away all your assets and you become totally enslaved to the government. And then the other side, it's all is 45 and his 17 to 45 and the Alliance Galactic Federation, all of that are focused on freedom. And so we're obviously going because this whole thing it's already done. It's a Panama movie show, as I always say, and we're just for the sheep and the 20% of the fools that voted for I always say the pervert, but it's basically Joe, that we're trying to wake the masses up in a very, very constructive and more of a non-havoc way. And so that's all we're going through. So in 45's system, we're going to obviously have currencies that are every single country is going to be on a level playing field. And obviously the cryptocurrency side, it's going to be XRP, which is the primary bridge currency for the banks. Okay, so I think XLM is more for the people, is what I've been hearing. And so that's the direction we're going versus the cabal system, where it was just all about control. And so those are this primary, from a big picture perspective, primary differences.
Yeah, well, there's not going to be one coin that rules them all, but we need other coins to do other things. You need the $5 bill, you need the $10 bill, you need the $20 bill, you need the $50 bill, you need the $100 bill, and perhaps maybe there's going to be a few $1,000 bills that could be like the XLMs. Okay.
Excellent.
And that's the way I explain it. So when did you hear about XRP, and which videos or which XRP army guy did you say, oh my God, yeah, this is it, this is the one, let me get in?
So before I woke, I was listening to like Modern Investor, because one of my colleagues, he followed the alternative media space way back. He's actually followed for like, I think around 10 years. So he was telling me then, this is before I woke, before the pandemic, is that everything that's happened in the alternative media happens before the mainstream media. So he educated me a lot, and he provided me with a lot of links in terms of people. Before I woke, I was following Modern Investor. So he was saying that XRP, listen to it a lot, that it's going to be the primary currency to replace the SWIFT system. So I started investing back in 16, going into that. And then after, obviously now, you're one of the people I listen to, of course. And so I don't get too deep into a lot of the different aspects of the cryptocurrency. I just look at it more from a big picture perspective, because my concentration is not only the the financial markets, it's also tied to gold and silver, everything outside of the central banking system, also current events, and then also getting into more of the spiritual aspects of it. And so I talked about this in my video with Jason Reed recently, is that I'm basically coming from a background of Buddhist monks, and that's how I think resonated immediately to this movement and what it's about, with all my spiritual brothers and sisters from every single different religion. So I carry a lot of different things that kind of brings it together. But that's who I followed, and absolutely, I listen to you, and I'm really appreciative of everything that you're doing, educating people to get in front of this. You don't want to say I told you so. You want to get involved. You want to be on the right side. And being a long-term investor, that went from I was a kid, minority kid, with nothing, and I achieved financial greatness in this crappy system. But I want to see people do the same thing in this new system. But you have to take action before, even a small portion. Just get involved. That's all I can say.
You mean to tell me that Mr. Trumptastic is a fan of Mel?
Yes, of course, man. That's right.
I'm ready to fall off my chair, dog. What's up? Really? No way. Listen, man. I'm telling you, here's the way I look at it, and I'm going to give you a few. I'm not here to make friends. I'm not here to make enemies. I'm here because I think there's another song to be sung. Okay. And when I turn on the Raging Bull and all these different guys that are all part of the XRP army, even Extravad, which I'm a big fan of, and we post them in our Telegram group down below. You could join for free, and you can get the most amazing education that you can think of. We post all these videos in there, even though they're preaching a very different scenario, because I'm not competing with them. I don't want to compete with them. I want them to come and come in my movie theater. I've been in your movie theater for 3 years. Come in my movie theater now, and let's compare apples to apples and oranges to oranges. Someone's going to win, someone's going to lose. To think that there's only one team on the field, and it's the global reset, and the other team never showed up. Not only is it a big mistake, because this team happens to be winning 100,000 to nothing.
Absolutely.
Right?
No, I mean, you're absolutely right. I mean,
so yeah. I'm trying to build a different army, a 2.0, a 3.0 XRP army that goes out and sings the XRP being the bust to Nesara, Gesara and Nesara taking over, freedom, not in slavery. See, because look, a lot of the people, and I hope I'm wrong, but there's a few people, I think, that want to become wealthy at any cost inside the XRP army, without mentioning any names. And to me, that's a problem. It's a problem in the sense, see, when I drive down the street and I see people covered up like this, it has an effect on me. Huge effect.
Me too.
Can you imagine if you're driving your Rolls Royce and your XRP is worth, $1.5 billion, and you're driving your beautiful Rolls Royce, you got your beautiful trophy wife, you got your beautiful kids in the back seat, and you're driving underneath the bridge, and the rest of the world is sitting, starving to death, eating garbage, eating stuff out of the garbage can. I have a problem with that. I have a big problem with that. I want everybody to have some.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Are you feeling
like
me?
Yeah,
are you feeling me?
Exactly.
Are you feeling me? I get it. I get into the street thing now. Are you feeling me, dog?
Big time, brother. Like, I feel you. That's exactly the reason why I got into this. Aside from the child trafficking, but what I bring is my expertise in financial markets, and I want people to experience it. And the people that I've connected in this movement, it's been amazing because they have the same connection with me. It's a spiritual war between good and evil. That's basically what it is. Good has already won. And so now we're just, watching the movie of it. But it's a reality movie show. It's not just, discounted, right? So people are dying. I carry that with me every single day. All my subscribers are, whether they have somebody's perished because of the Jabberdo, or they didn't make it to the med beds, and the family members call me, and they're saying that, hey, you really kept my grandmother spirits high, she perished, but this and that happens. I mean, I carry all of that, so my thing is all we're going to do is light work in terms of, we're going to get to this, the other side, and then we're going to be the light workers. We're going to be doing what these, I say idiots in terms of these elites haven't been doing, is we're going to be able to go out there and help people, achieve their dreams, give them a hand, give them a chance to make it. And so we've been chosen as the leaders, in my opinion, because for some reason I work like that and other people don't. And so, like yourself, been in it for a long time, which I respect big time, because, I've been in it for a couple of years. It's been the hardest ride for me to get through in so many different ways. But I just, continue to focus on the end game. And that's my mission. And so, but yeah, exactly. That's what, to provide our abundance to those other people, to humanity. And so no one could be, suffering. And that's part of, I think, the whole reason why this global financial reset, Nesara Gesara, is to, show the people and get them into a 5D place, 5D earth, where, everything is in abundance, which is something that, they've never had. And they've been duped. Exactly. And so and
that's where we want to go. We don't want to go to the global reset. We want to go to the quantum financial system, Gesara and Nesara. And that's what I'm pushing. So I need soldiers like you. You can learn how to sing the song, because you're already singing the song. You just don't know it. You just got to know the order of the lyrics. And then we could, Mr. Trumptastic joins forces with Mel, Army 2.0, XRP. Can you feel it?
I feel it, dog, man. I feel you, brother. I mean, in every single way, man. So I'm with you 1000% in walking in the same direction.
Yeah, and you know what? This is, we're in, like you said, a spiritual battle. We are literally, you're either going to make it or we're not going to make it as a species. It calls for everybody to stand up. If you got some leadership skills, if you got a little bit of gift of gab, if your pineal gland is working, let's go, man. You know, let's get with the program. You know, we got to make some noise. You know, this doesn't just happen. Things don't just happen. Things happen justly.
Exactly. I mean, you called it, just like why I'm so happy when I said the trucker convoys. I'm seeing, you know, because I was attending all these rallies and I get involved with the community, with local patriots. And, you know, I've done some, you know, places where I've done some speeches and stuff. And it's just, the thing is, like, you know, I do whatever I can online, then locally too. And so we all have to do our part. We have to be active.
Exactly.
We can't just lay back. Okay, whatever the, you know, white hats, the military take care of it. That's why it's being dragged out. It's like, we want you to get off the sofa, take action. All right. We all do that. It's over. It's game over. But it's, you know, obviously the MK Ultra is, you know, it's, you know, decades and people have to do that. I get the whole thing. But, you know, my thing was early with all the people that I, you know, was connected to in 3D, I sat them down for like a couple hours, people I really cared for. And unfortunately, you know, a lot of them didn't, all of them didn't connect. But at least I put that foot down, I took the action. And now, you know, I'm in an important town where we're close to the reveal, but at the same time, you know, I'm doing my thing and also helping those that come to me. And then I can explain, you know, help them out in any single way I can. So, but we have to join forces and we have to take action. And that's the main thing that I always try to preach.
Yeah, let's switch gears a little bit. And let me ask you a couple of questions in regards even the mainstream. I don't watch mainstream, but, you know, because of this thing that blew up over there in Russia, Ukraine, and there's a whole story that nobody else knows. Nobody knows. And somebody said something. I don't want to give this guy too much because he says he's got 3.4 million people watching him live. Some of you people might know who he is. And that is probably my mom, and I'm not going to answer. Even I told her not to call. It's okay, Mom. I'll call you later. There you go. So anyway, the reality is that, you know, this whole thing, you see, as far as I'm concerned, Pundi, Bolsonaro, Trump, and Xi are all working together.
Yep.
They're all working together, every one of them. They're going to be known as the presidents that bought in Nesara, Gesara, the quantum financial system. They're all behind it. Okay, you hear Trump saying we're going to give the power back to you, the people. We need a level playing field. And then you watch the videos from even MSM talking to the governor of the Bank of England, Mark Carney, saying we need a level playing field. So you start to connect these dots. It's not really that difficult. You know, you come into my movie theater, I will show you the dots. You can feel the dot. You can smell the dots. Okay, they're here. And so I heard this, and nothing phases me. Not even flat Earth will phase me. If they say, "Hey, the Earth is flat," say, you know what? So what? You lied to me about 9,999,000 things. One more is going to make a big difference. No. And I don't make fun of flat earthers. Maybe they know something we don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. But I'm trying to get to a point. What if Chernobyl is a bullshit story? Think about that for a second. Somebody said this. He doesn't need more. He doesn't need another 3 million viewers. I'm trying to get there still. Okay. So, but the reality is that resonated with me. Huge. Some of you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Resonated with me huge. You know why? Because these people will stop at nothing. And there's no, you know, they'll tell the lie as big as it needs to be told because they're sold out to the elite, period. Okay. And what if that whole entire Chernobyl thing, and they got rid of everybody. This is an area territory-wise, I think they're like the size of New Jersey. I'm talking hundreds of thousands of acres. Okay, huge. What if they got rid of everybody so that they can continue their pederast organizations going. You know what I mean with that word pederast, right? And what about Taiwan? What's going on over there? These are supposedly, from what I hear now from different sources, pretty reliable to some extent. To some extent, they have some things wrong. Okay, that same things are happening over there in Taiwan, and Xi is tired of the cabal. He wants them out. I know a lot of people who are watching Communist News Network and ABC always broadcasting crap. Okay, they think that, but I'm telling you that all of this movement, all of a sudden, did you hear on the news, even mainstream? I know I did. CNN. No, I'm sorry. It was what's that UK station? I can't think of it. BBS, BBS or something like that, or BBC.
Yeah, BBC. Yeah. Yep.
And I was watching it live on the internet because I have no more cable. I got rid of my TV a long time ago. And I'm watching, and all of a sudden they start talking about the one word, SWIFT.
Yeah.
And Russia. And I'm saying, even though they're not saying it, I'm saying XRP.
Yeah. Folks,
wake up, smell the coffee. If you ain't got enough coffee, come down here to Costa Rica. We got plenty.
In Costa Rica, I heard that the restrictions are being lifted, right? So congratulations on that. Today is actually,
we didn't have much of a new world order. We had some, but not as much as any other country yet.
That's awesome. I mean, I'm deep behind enemy lines here in LA, but today is the effective at midnight was the the mask thing gone, no more coverings and all that. So it's
yeah, it's all going away.
Yeah, it's all killing off left and right. It's great. I mean, great to see. It's kind of
you don't need to have insurance. You don't need to have insurance to come down here anymore. You don't need to wear a diaper anymore. You don't even need to show that you had that thing that goes in your arm anymore. That's gone. It's all gone. It's finished. They're throwing in the towel, folks. This movie is about to end. Absolutely. The lawsuit. What do you think of this lawsuit? I mean, do you think this lawsuit is kabuki theater or what?
What are you talking? Which specific lawsuit? Oh yeah, no, it's 1000% kabuki theater, like you said. It's from the beginning. It was just the guy was going on his way out and he threw it out there, and it's been caught up. It's been held up. I think it's just like a placeholder with a lot of things I've seen. If you listen to my videos, it's just a placeholder to put on there. So there's waiting for the right time to rip it off, and then we're gonna see. It's just gonna go. It's not gonna go this gradual thing like I thought with everything else. No, it's gonna go this, and then it's gonna go wow. It's gonna be it's gonna explode like so. That's why you have to put yourself in front of those things. And I own, like I said, a ton of XRP. Also bought Ripple in the pre-IPO, and I'm gonna buy another lot this coming week. So they were saying April coming up, but that's what they said with regards to this requirement. Right. They said April, and then today, look how fast it happened. So you don't want to be caught on the other side. You have to just prepare and be on the right side, because you're going to kick yourself so many times. And this is what for me too. Yeah.
Police officers down here have not followed orders for the most part. When I say have not followed orders, I'd say 95% of them said, not doing it.
That's good.
Not doing it.
Yeah, and here too. So.
They're family people. They're nice people. They really mean well, And they're just that their government's been holding them back for a long time, poisoning everybody, the whole shebang, like everywhere else. But these people, they have some compassion down here. You know what I mean? And right. And so they're not really. I've driven when I'm not supposed to be driving because your license plate's coded, for example, and I drive anyway, and the cops are sitting there and they don't care. They could pull you over because you're not supposed to be driving on certain days. Like, the coronavirus is going to attack cars that have a license plate that end with a number 8. Are you kidding me?
Wow.
I got to get rid of that corona thing now because I got to edit it out. I just said I just said they already shut my channel down, and then they deleted 80% of my videos, and then they reinstated 50% of my videos, and then they brought me right back to life, like nothing ever happened. All because of that video that started with 107.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, with the number 107, that's
Yeah.
a big no-no. Don't ever put that in your title
Oh,
because
okay. All right.
that's a flag.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
built into
So
their algorithm. As soon as you put the number 107, yeah.
then they take it down. Yeah, I have
Yeah.
a couple
So
channels that have been
I hope that
taken
we
down.
win, bro. No, I don't hope. I know we're going to win. I hope
We're
that
gonna
we win
win
soon.
1,000%.
Soon. Okay. That's what I should say. I hope we win soon, like in the next month or two. And we need to take these platforms. So these are great platforms. YouTube is a great platform run by the wrong people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
it is totally what you're saying. That's why I've been on here throughout. I mean, I do have accounts at Rumble and also BitChute, but the technology there, it's like it's a bitch and a half to try to load stuff there. So I've kept it here. Obviously, I've skirted around keywords and I've survived last couple of years. And my channel, Mr.
Mhm.
Trumptastic, now has over 10,000 subscribers. But
Nice.
two of my channels got taken down. One of them was the original Mr. Trumptastic, 6.5.
Mm.
NASDAQ Nice was taken down 6.5. So there's, right there. It's, I had a ton, like, 10 of subscribers that, went away and had to rebuild it again. But I have 5 channels, so I just scramble. I just go in rotation. So as soon as they hit me there, I'm in other places.
Moving to another channel.
Exactly. And they take another one down, boom. I just create one just like we're printing money, right? I'm going to do the same thing that you've done to people. I'm going to basically throw it back at you. And so that's been my thing.
Yeah.
And
Well, you're like
yeah.
a weeble wobble, but you ain't gonna fall down.
No, exactly.
Right. You're a brawler like me. You get in my face.
Exactly.
I'm gonna switch gears. I'm gonna make duck and weave and make some moves and move in a different direction. That's what I did. We started a second channel on YouTube. We don't have any videos on there yet, but it's there. And we got over 800 and something subscribers so far. It's brand new. And then we have a channel on Rumble, which will be down below. Both of those channels are down below. So if you like our content, if you like, Trumptastic, if you like the kind of people we are interviewing, definitely hit the links below, because look, one day you're going to come here, and if you didn't subscribe to the other channels, you're not going to see us anymore. It's just that simple.
Exactly.
So if you want to follow us and our content resonates with you, you got to click the link below. Simple. And give us a like and all of that, BS, whatever. I'm probably one of the worst freaking podcasters in the world. I'm rough around the edges. You could tell, I'm not a.
No, that's good, man. I mean, a lot, because I'm pretty of a no nonsense guy myself. I have like a lot of street stuff. I mean, I wear suits and all that, but if you see me, I'm like more, on a casual attire. I'm, former DJ, former bartender. So I know how to get down. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
I'll do the corporate stuff, but at the same time I can get to street smarts, and that's basically what a lot of the things why I think a lot of people resonated with, because I'm not one of these uppity guys. I'm like I'm, like I said, I come from very humble beginnings. My father came here on a ship from Japan on a boat in 1950, one of this worst racism, and he came over here, and so I was subjected to that when I was younger. And so then it's like, I stood my ground, I kick your ass, you know what I'm saying? So, in terms of my beliefs, maybe it's not a part of the mainstream. I'm Asian and Buddhist or whatever, but I'm highly spiritual. My dad's a Buddhist monk. I'm on the right side. I know it. And I'm just trying to do my thing in this movement, but I'll roll with it, and I'll stand up for freedom. Stand up for the rights and get us out of enslavement. That's basically what we're coming to. And like you said, it's just in terms of it's being played out, this movie, and I do believe we are. I mean, every single source that I've listened to, we're at the end of this. We're at the tail end.
Are you a big fan of And We Know by any chance?
No, I haven't heard.
No, okay. And We Know is on Rumble.
Oh no, yeah. Sorry, and we know. Yeah, I listen to
LT
their content. Yes, I do listen to their content. And yes, it's great. He's great. Very, very good.
X22 report.
Yes, absolutely.
I actually imitate him.
Oh yeah,
great. And welcome. You're listening to X22 report. My name is David.
He's great. I mean,
he's awesome.
He's veteran, and I when I first got into it, he was one of the big time sources that I listened to a lot. So I highly respect. I respect every single truther. Maybe I don't agree with some of them, but
Yeah,
still,
no.
if you're putting yourself out like this, you know, it's all about the collective.
Yeah. What you're now, are you still invested in Bitcoin? Let me ask.
Yes, I'm still investing big. Well, I have what I have. I had like a few, and I sold, more than half of it. So, and then I spread it out, because I'm a diversification. It's part of the philosophy of, investing. So, I do
Yeah.
have some. I have some like in terms of GBTC in the market, which follows the price of Bitcoin. And there's obviously we know this what the story is. It's used for nefarious reasons and all that. I understand that, but the US dollar too, right? It's a
Oh,
primary currency.
absolutely. Are
Yeah,
you
it's like,
kidding?
come on.
Yeah.
It has a triangle with the eye in the back. Come on, hello, right?
Yeah. Is
So in
anybody
terms of
home?
Bitcoin, it came after the fact. It was created for that, but then the people took it over, and now you're seeing the central banks don't like it, and that's telling me I like it, right? So, I have my certain amounts over there because it's talked about. Some people like it, some people don't. X22 likes it. Bo Pony, because X22 had like Bitcoin ban, and so he looks at it like I do. I look at cryptocurrency as a whole, outside of the central banking system. It's a middle finger to their system, and so, but again, that it's not, not, it's the top three. It's number three, but XRP is number two. But XRP has been held down. So once that pops up, it's going to be number one. Ether, it was also one that I bought so low that it exploded, and then I've been diversifying out of it into not just XRP, but into Ripple too, in terms of
Right.
stock market.
So the hypothesis that I think I'm probably one of the very first, if not the first one to actually come up with, the fact that this lawsuit is specifically to slow things down until Trump gets back. And the lawsuit, once we win the lawsuit, they're going to brand XRP. Why? Because it's going to be a household name. Why? Because we beat the SEC in the history of finance, the biggest lawsuit in the world in finance, and the company destroys the SEC. They got all these videos out there, incriminating videos, and they keep talking. And the more they talk, and the more they record, and the more they put it, they're still doing it today. They're still putting their bullshit out there, right? And the more they talk, the digger they dig in their grave. It's ridiculous, but they keep doing it though.
Yeah, no, it is. I mean, it's so obvious if you follow it from the beginning that it was just and so the White House just used it as a placeholder. They're doing what they have to do in terms of cleaning out, draining out the swamp in so many different ways, and they're holding it on the side, just like they've held Durham report, all these things, and then they're gonna rip everything off, and then it's gonna be boom, 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 just like 17's always said, and we're gonna see, and probably we're gonna be like, what in the world? But this is what we've been expecting, right? So it's already starting to happen. We're starting to see it. And it's just gonna continue. It's just like a snowball getting bigger and bigger and bigger. But the sheep, right? They need something that big in order to get them out of MK Ultra. So it's all good. I'm just
now
happy that
in regards to Bitcoin and XRP, I mean, I don't want to get into your finances, and I'm not a financial planner. I'm not going to try to sway you one way or the other, but just some basic questions I want to ask you. Don't you think, I don't know how much you got into Bitcoin. How early did you get into Bitcoin? What price point?
Bitcoin around 4 or 5K.
Okay, 4 or 5K. So you're still, 6X. 7X.
Yeah, something like that. But like my buddy's been in since he's like 13, 12, 13. So he got into it, and I think it was like into the hundreds or high hundred, whatever. He got into it like super early.
Right.
So yeah, he's benefited a lot into that.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Where are you on the argument? Because I follow McAfee a lot. I know I have a feeling if there's anybody who's still alive, that's him. Okay. Where are you in terms of Bitcoin? A lot of people like myself, I really think Bitcoin might go to zero because of the fact that the Lightning Network, they haven't been able to really get it off the ground. And it's been more than 4 years. I think it's really going on 5 at this point, 5 years. It's still very slow. It's still very expensive to move from point A to point B. Don't you think that maybe by taking, I don't know how many Bitcoins you own, but if you took your Bitcoin and we're going to go up 25X just by winning the lawsuit, don't you think that would be a better bet?
No, yeah, of course. I mean, and it's not even considering, because we're looking for the blow off top, because cryptocurrencies have a full year bull cycle every single time, And so we haven't gotten that 4-year bill cycle. It was supposed to happen in December, and it was, and it didn't happen then. So, and now I'm looking at like, will it be with this reveal, or is it going to happen and then it's going to tank and then it's going to explode too? So, crypto guys that I've listened to, they're like, they're saying that we can experience this, blow off top, and then obviously I've always forecasted Bitcoin to go to 100,000 to 250, and then I was going to start stripping it off and moving into other areas. I've actually carved off, I've done carved off when it last run up to like around 50K. And so I peeled that off and started moving into other cryptos, the ISO cryptos and stuff like that, just to spread it out, to be set up for that. But yeah, I mean, if it goes to zero in comparisons to how much, XRP I own, and the ISO assets that I own, as well as the RV, right, depressed foreign currencies. I'm just spread out. I mean, I'm diversified. So, like I always say, you're not going to get me when my pants pulled down. I'm going to kick your ass either way. So I diversified into so many areas. So I'm going to win one way or the other, right? So that's always my philosophy. I'm sticking with what's worked for me from the get-go. But yeah, let's say it doesn't, and let's say it's used just to move large sums of money, but XRP takes it over. Maybe XRP, because the way the white hats work, they don't want people to go to insane, because a lot of people invest in Bitcoin. That's not a woke. And so if they lose, they want to go to zero, they lose their minds. So let's say XRP takes it over, like, Bitcoin gets, basically into that. So I can see something like that happening.
Well, let's just say XRP never goes over 25 bucks, right? For argument's sake.
Yep.
Which is about 30 times where it's at right now. Correct? That's a 30x factor. Okay. Yep. And let's say Bitcoin never goes above 200,000, which is maybe 4.5 times where it is right now. If you took your money right now, let's just say we're right. This is all pure speculation, guys. Not financial advice. But if you took your Bitcoin and moved it over into XRP, and let's say we're right, let's say the speculators are right, and it goes up 30x versus 4x, it's a big, big move. It's a big difference. Let's say it never goes above 25 bucks. You say, hey, I'm selling out at 25 bucks. You made a major score.
Yep. Well, I'm in XRP because I'm one of these long-term investors, obviously. So I've, bought all these primary, FANG stocks in the early 2000s in the double digits or single digits, because they've split, right? So my thing is I just buy and hold it, and I don't I just look at it, I just leave it be, and then it explodes. And so, I mean, there are obviously it's risk, right? So it could happen this or that way. Nobody really knows exactly, because I've heard that, Bitcoin's been cleaned out by the white hats, and then I've heard the opposite of that. So because I look at it, because they don't want to do things at an extremely disruptive way. So I think, XRP can just take it over, and just so what I have in Bitcoin goes into XRP, great. But I still have like a ton of XRP. Either way I win. But for the average investor, I think I would be more positioning towards, XRP, obviously, because it is, we know what's value. And so obviously it's going to take over the SWIFT system. That's always been said. I've always known that before, and now I see it, right? So that's what I would position. If you only have a small portion of your, I'm not a financial advisor, right? This is all, you have to do your own research. But if you're going to do so in more of a safer bet, XRP on the crypto side, in terms of hard assets, I would look at gold, silver, precious metals, and then obviously commodities too, because those are all areas outside of the central banking system cabal that will explode when we see this coming reveal come out. So that's where you want to be positioned. Also, I don't want to discount also gold. I mean, if you're going to be in the stock market, then position yourself in gold, precious metals, silver, minor and royalty companies. And so they move 5 to 10 times faster than the actual commodity itself. Which is precious.
But Gesara and Nesara, I'm sure you're very well versed in the fact that it's going to encompass not only medical beds that are going to do some quantum healing that to most people it's going to look like a magic trick. I don't know if you followed any of our videos with me and Cynthia, but the reality is free technology is going to be plentiful. There's going to be so many different versions of free technology that you'll be confused in which ones to choose. And so do you think oil as a hedge would be a good bet going down the road if free energy technology in say 2 years?
I don't. I mean, I think they're going to be phased. Oil, gas, all these things are going to be, because we're going to go to Tesla free energy, which is going to be anti-gravity technology, 6,500 patents, part of the Gesara. I'm just saying from a short-term perspective, if you want to have a third leg, you can be in commodities. But right. Those areas are going to be phased out. So if I was going to look, the most tangible one would be obviously precious metal, gold and silver, but obviously cryptocurrencies. That's where we're going towards the future. We're going to a digital system. So if you want to be in there and have the most explosive part of it, then you got to go into cryptos, which is XRP is the safest bet, I believe, is all of them. But again, I'm not a financial advisor. So that's the way I look at it from a perspective. And so, I was obviously heavily weighted there for a reason.
Yeah, you're in finance, so I got to ask the question: banks, are they done?
Yeah. So, well, I've done now a lot of analysis on balance sheets of these top banks. They're obviously highly leveraged because of fractional banking. So I think a disruptive event. They're already, if you look at it from a factual standpoint, they're underwater big time. But they can't just do that because people lose their minds. So this movie has to be played out in a way that it's exposed
slowly, gradually.
Yes, and so
okay, 5 years, 6 years, 4 years.
I think we're going to see it pretty quick. I mean, I think because the Basel III, right? It's the requirement that they have to be compliant to it, and all these things are already been implemented. So I don't know what the trigger is. I've been wanting it, yesterday, and so it's frustrating from. It's great because we know what the end game is, but just in terms of when are they going to rip this Band-Aid off? Yeah, so many moving parts to it. So, and then the main thing is they don't want to shake the sheep up and cause havoc and all this. So, I trust they're going to do it the right way. They have, looking glass technology. They always say time travel and all these things that they're privy to that we're never been access to, but we are eventually. That we're going there the right way. Yeah, they know the right way to do it, and so I just got to be patient. But I mean, I'm 3D graduating to 5D. I'm not in 5D graduating going to 670. Yeah. So I want to see it sooner than later.
You just said two words: time travel and looking glass. That's going to trigger a few more questions that I wasn't even planning on asking. But if you know about that, you know about what I'm about to hit you with.
Yep.
20 years in a row. 20 years down the road. 10 years. Technology is moving so fast. You've heard of replicators. I'm sure you have.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
Okay. So this is not quacky shit. This is real. It's probably already in existence with the armies and Space Force and so on. They're just gradually introducing. There was a video I was watching the other day with a gentleman that interviewed you a lot from the UK. What's his name? Benjamin.
Nicholas Finian.
Yeah, Nicholas. Yeah, Benjamin, right? Yep. And he was in some facility where there was doctors and, Tesla healing technologies and frequencies, that kind of stuff. So we know that we are moving in this direction. And like you said, gradual. Banks are probably going to phase out, I think, within 4 or 5 years, because I always say that if you could pay yourself peer-to-peer, okay, obviously people are not going to go spend their 70 cents XRP knowing that it's going to be worth $50,000 in 3-4 years down the road, correct?
Correct.
You understand? So, if they have enough XRP where their XRP is staking and it's creating casino coin, for argument's sake, and casino coin, which is a carbon copy of XRP, correct? Mm-hmm. They could take the money that they're winning from the actual, which I call basically a CD, which is like when you used to go in a bank 20 years ago, hey, put your money with us. We're going to give you 8.5%. Leave it parked for 18 months, 24 months. Staking is the same thing, except you're doing it in the crypto world, correct? So if you're worth hundreds of millions of dollars and you're getting 1/2 of 1%, which is 6% a year, and you're getting paid that dividend every single month, you're going to spend your casino coin and you still got the principal. what's to stop people saying, screw the banks, what do I need to pay them a VIG, right? Pay them a percentage to go through their stupid CBDCs. The hell with you and your CBDCs. How long do you think it's going to take people to wake up to that reality? And do you think that once they know what you and I know, because these assets work perfectly well peer-to-peer, let's fast forward into the future, the market, you know, hundreds of trillions of dollars, which I believe it will be. This will be the biggest market ever, because once we move the derivatives market, all of the stock markets of the world, the real estate market, we tokenize the gold. By the way, I'm the first guy that ever said, and I challenge anybody to find the guy who said that XRP is going to tokenize the gold. I'm the guy that said that. I take full credit for that. Okay, because what's to stop people saying, hey, I don't need these CBDCs. I'm making, you know, $20 million a year. I can't even spend the interest that I'm making from my cryptos. I want to spend the interest on my pizzas, on my cars, on my whatever. But I think we're going to go to flying saucers. We're going to bypass flying cars and go right to flying saucers here shortly. I believe that.
Yeah, no, I think it comes down to, like, you know, in terms of their ascension, right, to 5D, how quickly that happens and how fast that they can waken up. And obviously the 65, everything that's been put on hold, the technology, everything. Obviously, eventually money is going to be phased out at some point in time. We're talking about decades down the line. Maybe it takes a century. I don't know, but you know, we have to graduate to it. So obviously, it's a process to that. And we're way ahead of the curve here, which is absolutely great. But it can happen quickly though, because you know, I just connected with this movement and everything about it, just like that. And there's some people that could be waking up right now. He just feels the same way. You know, so
my argument is, Trumptastic. My argument is this: you're not going to need 6 months or even 6 days to understand peer-to-peer.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
Right?
Peer-to-peer,
So
it's already,
if you're a place, let's say you're Japanese, you like sushi. I love sushi, by the way.
Yep.
Okay. And you got a sushi joint and you want to put a sign saying, I accept VeChain, I accept XRP, I accept Casino Coin, I accept Hedera Hashgraph. You put your QR codes out there, people could scan it and pay you with the money that they're staking direct into your wallet.
They're gonna pay that.
You get your money instantaneously, number one. You don't have to pay 1.8% to Visa and MasterCard. It'll cost you maybe 1/1000th of a penny to receive $100 worth of sushi or $200 worth of sushi.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, no, exactly.
And there's no chargebacks.
Yeah, no, exactly right. I mean, it's gonna eventually the banks, I believe, you're not gonna really need them as a medium anymore, because once we go to peer-to-peer, you just do it directly. So obviously that's why the banks are converting themselves to more a wealth management digital focus. And so you know, it all comes
down how quickly can we clean up the pineal glands of the masses.
Absolutely. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. And
how quickly can we get them to learn once we've cleaned the pineal gland? Number two. So these are all, and you know, older people are going to be stuck in their ways, and they still think they got to deal with the bank, and maybe the banks might survive, given the benefit of the doubt, 3-4 years. Yeah. But eventually they will be phased out. When people understand what you and I know to be an absolute fact, and the markets are $500 trillion, okay, or $500 quadrillion, because everybody's coming. The rest of the world is not here yet. 0.00001% of the world is invested in cryptos.
Yep, that's exactly right.
Yeah, exactly. There's 7.9 billion people that are not here yet.
That's right. So less than 1% invested in crypto. So that's why we're and with this movement too, and with, you know, every single thing about it, we're in the select and less than 1%. And so once everything pops up in the reveal and everything happens, and that's why we've been given this. It's an honor, because once we're given it, we're going to get a tremendous amount of abundance, wealth. But what we're going to do, unlike this system, is that we're going to be helping people, right? That's going to further resonate everything in the planet, helping the homeless, helping your common man, helping people. I'm just, you know, blown away and looking forward to getting to that. And so, but you know, that's exactly right. This is a spiritual war in a sense. It is a war that's, you know, God's reset, the sources reset, you know, from a Buddhist perspective, from a karma reset. But we're heading in that direction very quickly. And that's where I can't wait to go.
Absolutely. Brother, when can we do it again? Because this was great. I think this is going to go viral. I got to get my wife to get that one word that starts with a C for the C19 out. So she just pulled up from the farmer's market. So I got a little job for her. She hates it when I make a mistake, but hey,
I do it sometimes. You have to record again, and we all do and all that. But it's great, man. I had an absolutely great time with you, brother, and we're obviously in the same frequency, which I thought from the beginning, listening to you, and I'm glad that our colleague Ben connected us. And anytime, man. I mean, I have a couple things going on next couple of weeks, but let's do it again. And I look forward to it.
Yeah, and I'm going to call on you to do one thing for me, because I know you got a huge following. And when I chum the waters, I really chum the waters, and I want the sharks to come around. Okay, so I'm going to call on you when Cynthia is ready to do her live demonstrations with the med beds. We might, do a gradual thing where somebody goes in with the cancer and comes out the other side, and they're right. I can't use that word. Okay. Yeah. Or they'll go in there. They got some other, or they'll go, and maybe the third or fourth time somebody goes in, they're 75 years old and they come out 25 years old. So we want to build up to that. And I might need your help on going live on multiple platforms and all that kind of stuff. And I want maybe you to be plugged in at the same time we are, because we're gonna blow it up. We're gonna blow it up.
No, for sure, man. I mean,
she says she's got. If she's got what and she could prove it, this is gonna. I always say this is gonna make the bomb of Hiroshima look like a firecracker.
Yeah, no, exactly right. I mean, like I said, people perish through this. So obviously, I'm connected to that in terms of that'll always be my memory. So I'm fully behind you with any way of that. So just let me know. And I'm going to need as many big time leaders that have even bigger platforms than myself out there. I'm going to call on Kerry Cassidy. I'm going to call on yourself. I'm going to call on as many people as possible to plug in. She has no idea how I roll. I'm a different kind of cat, when I do it, I either go big or I go bigger. You know what I mean? You're my kind of guy, man. Keep doing what you're doing. I love your flavor. I like your style. I like your wear your heart on your sleeve, just like me. And, once, I get out, once I get the other side, maybe, I'll start to, show you kind of like my real, like more, and I still do, like in certain videos in one of my channels where I'm like all for fun, I start, talking mess and, most of the channels have to
when things blow up, monetarily speaking, with XRP and the things that we got going on, etc. My wife said, I want to go live in Japan for about 6 months and live in those little alleyways and eat those mom and pop sushi joints, but I'm gonna get fat, I have a feeling.
Well, I'm gonna be, hopefully I'll have like a residence there, and then also obviously here, but in America. But definitely if you ever come there, let me know. We'll definitely.
Oh, absolutely, and vice versa. If you ever want to come to Costa Rica, let me know. Well, always let me know 3-4 weeks in advance so we can plan it properly.
Sounds good, man. I look forward to it.
Absolutely. Let's do it again, brother. Thank you so much for taking the time out. I appreciate
you so much, man. I appreciate everything that you do, and keep it up. And I'll talk to you soon.
Yes, absolutely. Let's stay in touch. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.